The crochet crowd is calling. Yarn tails so tall, inclusion for all. Inspire, create now. Light and joy in every stitch. Passion is the perfect glitch. Oh, Mikey, Mikey, what do you see? Yarn tails, community.
The Crochet Crowd, I'm your host. And good morning and welcome to the Crochet Crowd live on this Sunday morning. It's a beautiful morning here in Nova Scotia. We are bracing for an impact of a storm coming in. But you know what? You get your storm chips out, you do all of that fun stuff, and we are living in Canada after all. So weather is not unusual for our region. So I'm pretty excited about it in the sense that, you know what makes a great snow day? Crochet. Isn't it obvious by now? So if you're part of here of the Crochet Crowd, I am your host, Mikey. If you've never met me before, I am live here to camera today on our platforms of YouTube and our Facebook platforms this morning, and been going through a lot of psychotherapy with AI in the last 24 hours and trying to reset my brain and trying to figure out what's next. So I have been here as a host on YouTube since 2008, and I have seen YouTube go from a little platform to what it is today. And also we have been on so long that we have been on Facebook even before Facebook groups or Facebook pages was even available. That's how old we are. So yeah, so that's kind of our little bit of mantra. My goal is to bring people into crochet in the sense of learning new things, ideas, and kind of have fun with it. I'm not a serious host, as most of you know. And if you've been joining with us, you can tell people that have been with me for a long time. They are introducing where they're from here on the chat. That is a normal thing. Where are you from? And you don't have to be that specific. You can just say what state or province you live in. And we are a global platform. Our youngest community in the world is actually from Thailand. So welcome to you. And our videos are available in multiple languages, as well as multiples of not just languages in the sense of subtitling on YouTube, but it's also available in dubbing as well. So it's automatically dubbing for those that are in different countries where English is not your English is not your first language. So been around for the block a long time. One thing that I do like about the Crochet Crowd, I like many things, but I like the interaction of crocheters. So I developed the platform way back when I was just a little crocheter all by myself and I didn't have anybody to talk to with crochet. And this is pre-internet really. And well, it's not pre-internet, but it's pretty close to it. There's not a lot of support for crochet. And I thought, geez, you know, what if we could just do something? And when I say we, I mean all my personalities. I don't know why I refer to myself as third party, but I talk in first person. Usually when Wendy's doing an update, she'll say this is Wendy or at Wendy, and so she's my assistant in California. So yeah, so quite a great day today. I ran into some friends yesterday at the coffee shop, and Stella and Catherine and her husband. I want to say his name is Steve, but I don't remember exactly. Could be something else. Anyway, just it's nice to be able to move around in a community like we have. I live in a village here in Nova Scotia, Canada, and you're looking at the village idiot. Ta-da! Here you go. So there's about 200 people that live in my village, and there's a larger town to the one side of us that has Acadia University, and that's a vibrant town. It doubles its population during university, and then it goes back down, and then we live in the heart of tourism, so we live in the heart of wine country and agriculture, and so we have a lot of, it's not really Napa Valley of California, but it's kind of is. So we have a lot of people that come in all over the place. So that's really quite exciting. It keeps our community alive and vibrant. And then in the next town, we have all the big stores. You have your Walmart, you have your grocery stores, possibly anything you need. So yeah. So it is pretty cold today. Today, somebody's saying that it's Nova Scotia. Sounds like an Arctic Circle to me. It is actually pretty chilly today. What is the temperature out today? I'm going to say in Canadian temperatures because I don't know what the equivalent is in American temperatures. It is -2, so it's not too bad. And that's just below freezing here. So that's, what is it in American Is 32 the freezing point for the US? So it's about 30 degrees. It's not too bad today. Nice bright sun. The sun is heating up, and we've had a lot of snow that is kind of lingering. So yeah. So Stony Tina she's Dutch. So I'm not sure if she's from Deutschland or she is Dutch herself. Yeah. So anyway, so that's kind of what we have going on today. I had a thought process that I will be dragging you along if you want to hang out with me and chat on the chats today. And I actually have one of Daniel's old patterns. There's another group that has taken Daniel and I's photos. It's all of our ballroom, if you've ever seen it, the yarn room that I used to have in the last house in Ontario, Canada. And anyway, they've given me credit, so they really haven't stolen the pictures, but they kind of have. And I'm not even going to worry about it, so don't worry about it. Don't go after them. They don't need to. But they had a photograph of Daniel sitting with green hair on the couch. And when Daniel was doing the green hair, he was actually designing this blanket here, the Winter Blizzard. And this was in 2017. So the photograph is almost 10 years of age now. And so what I want to do is I want to relook at his pattern because we wrote it together before we were really that good at design. And so I want to take a look at it. But I also want to chart it out in diagram format, which is why I'm here today. So yeah, so that's kind of my storyline, and that's what I'm going to hang out with today. If you are looking for this pattern, it's called the Winter Blizzard Afghan. I am charting it out so that I have something solid to go with. I chart a lot of my stuff so that I have knowledge on how things are working together. So I am not adverse to doing the charting. So that's kind of what I'm doing today. His pattern is actually pretty extensive. I don't really know how many people have done it over time. It's hard to know. And so I want to take a look at that and go there. So okay. So yeah, so that's where we're coming from today. We have Fort Erie in the house today. So we have some people from Canada. We have people across the world, I think, here on our chat. It's 49 degrees in Southern California. So you're living the high life in California with those kind of temperatures, but we will have that around. I did upgrade my glasses last week, and so they'll be coming online probably in the next week or so. And I decided to do a style change. So I'm going to keep my green. My lens, my prescription has not changed, but I've added a different color, I've added a different color to my life, but I think I might need to redecorate my office because my office will not go with my new glasses. So I don't know. That might just be the gay man in me talking. So I don't know. I hope you do a pattern for the loaf cat. I don't know what that is, but let me write this down and maybe give me some ideas. I don't know what a loaf cat is, other than my cat sitting on me when I'm trying to sleep at night. That's a loaf. Let me try it. So I would take some notes here today. And my kind of goal for charting Daniel's pattern is to see if the pattern can do something else other than what we're doing, and to kind of look at it. It's hard to design the doilies, but I realized last week somebody asked me a question, and I went and looked at the original designer from 2010. I think about 16 years ago, and they said they got their design actually from a doily book, which ends up becoming a viral hit across the world. And then that was the viral Afghan. So the designer said that they kind of pulled the inspiration from a Crochet doily book from the past. So what's old again is always kind of new. So there we go. So yeah, so a cat sitting with its paws under and resting. That's a loaf cat. Daniel and I, when the cats do that, Daniel says it looks like a hen. So a loaf cat makes more sense, but he said it always sits like a hen. Do that. Yeah. So Barbara's at Mississauga. My former wife was from Mississauga. I was in Mississauga quite often in Ontario during my college years. And I went to school. I went to Humber College for my education and post-secondary education. And my parents told me right off the top that if I want to go to college where I wanted to do something further in my life, that I'm going to have to save my money and pay for college on my own. And they told me this when I was 14 years of age. And so I got myself a job, and my job throughout my teenage years bought me 2 years of college, my books, and my living expenses, and I bought a brand new spanking new car with my job. So and it took me 4 years to do that. So and then the company ends up going bankrupt in the end, because Walmart came to Canada and the company went bye-bye. So it's one of those things, right? So I got in and out, I guess, at the right time in my life. And yeah, so that's kind of my background. So my background is actually engineering. And so I studied to be a mechanical engineer, and I'm obsessed with product movement. And what that means is, how does the product get from one side here to the other? And so my fascination, even still to this day, is about product movement. And the only difference of product movement from engineering, from what I learned it to be, to designing conveyor belt systems, to designing different things, is that my fun in life is actually more people movement now. It's no longer a product. And in the sense that, here's a pattern, let me design the pattern, let me give you the pattern, and let me watch you make the pattern. And so my morphing of what product movement is today has changed, in the sense of creating an inspiration, seeing if somebody will take the inspiration and see what they'll do with the inspiration. So the inspiration is never, I never expect people to copy it in the sense of coloring and or whatever. I let people just do what they want and see what they want with their own yarns, the colors, and that's what excites me a lot. So I had the opportunity to go to Joanne warehouse when Joanne was around, and watching the products movements on how our computers working and moving the conveyors and stuff. It wasn't as elaborate as Amazon, but it was pretty fantastic. And I could honestly stare at the conveyor system for hours on how it was moving and operating and moving boxes towards getting to the right transport truck in order to get to the store near you. And so that all plays into a key of my education. And what I'm about to do with you on camera is part of that. So I learned to design using AutoCAD. And so I was the office person at the time. And so I'm coming into engineering when the old school of engineering of hand drawing all the parts, we're starting to convert over to computer. And probably today, it's probably no drawing anymore. It's all computerized. And so I found myself as a young person in the engineering field at the age of 19, out of whack with the old engineers. And I felt like I couldn't function very well, because I felt like it was the old boys club. I did not feel the joy, and realized that I had studied for a job and something in my life that just wasn't giving me joy. And so I did get downsized out. So the car industry took a tank and went through a recession, and I got downsized out. And then eventually life just spun me around, and I developed the Crochet Crowd in my early 30s. So I've been around a long time. So we're actually going to be going on 18 years of the Crochet Crowd as of March 6th. So I've been around, seeing evolution happening from the dawn of YouTube, the dawn of Facebook communities, to what is transforming now to the dawn of AI, and being able to function and be able to get through there. So that's kind of my background. That's what keeps me interested. And that is what gives me joy. So I don't like to get into the politics. I don't like to get into all this stuff. As I tell people in my life, I just want to crochet. I just want to be happy. And I just want to let the yarn go through my hands. I don't need it to make a political statement, but I don't want it. I want the product to mean something. So when I design something, I design with intention and with emotion. And that's what may separate me from a person that's designing based on what other people want. I design based on what I think I need in my life at the time. So a lot of my study series is based on that. So yeah, so that's kind of what we have going on. And that's what we have going on. So anyway, so yeah, so some of you have been around for a long time with me, and other people are brand new and say, where did this guy come from? So I believe in slow go attitude, in the sense of I don't try to create anything viral because I think it's pointless. Viral just happens on its own if it's going to. I'm not sure if I've ever done anything viral, to be honest with you. So I think that whole thing for me is it's all about long form. It's all about evergreen. So if I design something today, it'll still be relevant in 10, 20, 30 years or after I'm dead. So that's kind of what my goal is for design. So keep it so that it's relevant today, tomorrow, and the next day. And yeah. So okay, I'm going to jump you to my other screen today. And so I am crocheting today. I am actually designing one of my patterns, one of Daniel's patterns actually. And we are going to go through the process of doing this. So snowflake, like blizzard, Afghan, just saving my work before I move on. And so what we do is we use a template that I have developed over time. And just going to get rid of some other stuff. Oops, I got rid of the wrong one. Okay, so we're going to bring that back on. And I like my windows to be in a certain order. And we're just going to follow the pattern. If you would like to do this pattern, it's called the Winter Blizzard Afghan. It was designed by Daniel. Now, Daniel doesn't crochet often, and he crocheted, I think, one sample of this. And then I think we gave it to a friend to do the rest of them. And then I took it back, and then I figured out how to attach these things to join as you go. So this is kind of on the top of my mind. I got an email from a consumer last night that she wants to know the pattern that she did from several years ago where she did a join as you go. And I'm like, oh my God, I've done so many. So I said, I've emailed her back last night. I said, you got to be more specific because I really don't know. But then it kind of clues me in. Let me just write this down because I think I need to create a subcategory of patterns where you join as you go. And blankets that we know that you don't have to sew them together when they're in blocks. So that's kind of what we're going to do today. Okay, so we're going to just follow the pattern, and so while I'm doing this, I actually can do editing on the PDF while I'm doing it. I just found a mistake already. And just 1 second, please. I got an inquiry that came across. Okay, so we're going to get back to it. I don't know the answer to that consumer, so I'll just keep on going. So we know that it was chain 6. So a lot of this stuff I've already pre-drawn before. So we're just going to slam it into our system here. And we need to keep everything in order here down in the rounds. So we're going to move this to center the current layer. So for those that have been joining me for a while, what is the first color of round number 1 or row number 1 of crochet diagrams? If you said black, that's the right answer. So black is always the starting answer of round number 1. That is a standard in crochet. And some crocheters like to change their colors, which honestly doesn't really change much of anything, but that's what we have. And in crochet design, I never design so that you have the starts and stops. That's always done at the end. And so we are going to cause a rotation to happen around the center point. So I have my grid lines in so that I can see where I am. So 360 degrees divided by 12 stitches, because that says that's what I'm going to do. And I'm rereading to make sure it's right. And we're going to copy that around. So I notice that it's running into those stitch work here. So I'm going to just bring it a little bit smaller. Oops. So I was able to move the guides. So we're going to lock the guides, lock guides. So I can't move those guides, and try again. So I don't know if this is where I want the slip stitch to be, but we can rotate that later on in the future, depending on where it is. So I'm just going to leave it there for now. We're also going to need a guide today. So we're going to add a guide in, and the guide is going to help me keep my rounds going. Okay, so we're going to add a round. So this will be a guide. And I always make the guides green. So you, the consumer, never see the guides. These are just for my design purposes, and we put them in the center so I can measure stitches. And we're also going to need, because this will turn into a hexagon, we're going to need a polygon, or sorry, we're going to need a polygon thing. And let's see, okay, there's actually 6 here. And so we're going to rotate this. There. And this will also be a guide for the future. And we'll worry about that later. Okay, so round number 2. What color is round number 2 if you actually do this kind of stuff? What is the name of your cool machine? I'm not sure what that means. So we do use Adobe Illustrator. It's what's used in the professionals to design for magazines and stuff. So I do have the capability of there. So Barbara says the answer is blue, and the answer is blue. So round number 2, every other round is blue. I'm not sure how that works for people that are colorblind, but I don't make those rules up. So it says, so I have not done this pattern. So I'm going to have to rewrite this pattern. So in the old days, we used to say single crochet in the single crochet, but now in today's writing patterns, we say 1 single crochet in the single crochet. We always have to put the number of stitches in front of the stitch itself. So that's kind of a change since we've last done this. And it says that we need to chain 5 in single crochet. So what I'm going to do is that I need to go to first round here. We're going to move this up, and we're going to change it to blue. And we're going to move this to round number 2. Now, we're going to be single crocheting in every single crochet from what I can read. So there's going to be another one there. So I'm going to only just copy it 1 time so I can actually get a unit of measurements so I can see it. Divided by 12, 360 degrees divided by 12 stitches. So that'll put it there. And according to my own notes, we need 5. There's 4. We need 5. Okay, so we're going to have to create our own. So we're going to need 5. We're going to have to create our own looping to go from one side to the other. So let's just paste this in, round number 2. So what's happening, it's going to jump up and over. So I might just put another guide in here, and we'll do an ellipse tool. So my chain has to follow that guide. Okay, so this means my chain is way too big, right? Okay, so we got that. So we're going to shrink this down. And we always want to keep them oval when it's a chain. And we are going to attempt, let's keep this as green. I'm going to move that to the guide so it's sitting in behind. Set them to the current layer. And what I'm thinking of doing is take a copy of this, and I want to get the tops of the stitches to go and match up to the line. Okay, so I'm going to move him up there. So we don't know if that's really in the center, so we're going to highlight both, and then we're going to lock the green one, and we're going to center out. So that's in the center, and I am guessing at this point. So I'm just going to build it out on the one side to see what it's going to look like. So I can tell automatically now that the stitch is too wide. So we're going to shrink it down without losing its center point and try again. And I need one more of these. Okay, so I'm going to shrink it again. And try again. See, it's a crapshoot. And I'm going to make it a little bit more oval and try again. So sometimes these charts can take a long time to make. Okay, I'm happy with that. And what I'm going to do is both of them, I'm going to reflect them over so that it's exactly the same angle. And move them over so they match. And the only thing I'm going to do different now is that I'm going to move them down so it's closer. They should be closer to this. So we know it's centered. Actually, you know what? I don't need to do that. We're going to put these together as a group. It keeps them together so we never change the angle of those things. And we are going to position this thing over here. And we're kind of matching the angle of the main circle. Got it. And I am going to, just for reference sake, I'm going to keep these guys for later. Somewhere else off the sheet, just in case I need it. And we're going to get rid of this guy here. And now round 2 is going to be completed. So it's coffee time, says Heather. That's a good idea. I could use a cup of tea right now. I'll get it after my broadcast. So 360 degrees, there's 12 of these guys. So divided by 12 sections, and this will give me my looping around. Okay, that was round number 2. Yeah, this pattern from 2018 really needs a serious rewrite. It's outdated in today's language. Okay, so it says single crochet, chain 3, double crochet, all in the same chain 5 space. So single crochet, chain 3, double crochet, chain 3, single crochet, all into the same chain 5 space. Let me just draw that out in my thing. So we got a single crochet, chain 3, double crochet, chain 3, all in the chain 5 space. It doesn't even say to slip stitch to that. I know. So what I'm going to do at this point is that I'm going to move it center. Okay, so we know that there's a double crochet that's going to sit in the middle of this. So we're going to just move ourselves to round number 3, and we're going to get a double crochet, and it has to be black. So I'll just grab these 3 for now. Okay, and then it says to chain 3. I'm going to create another guide. And we want that same angle, so we're going to reflect that, but in the opposite direction for here. So it has to all work within this space. Copy it. I'm really anal retentive when it comes to this stuff. Okay, so we want to make sure these guys are exactly centered. So we select all 3 and then lock down the first one, and then we are going to balance it. Horizontal distribute. Oh, that's not it. Oh, you know what I got to do? I got to take this guy, make it as a group, and then I can balance these 2 and center to the center of this one. Small change, but it makes a difference when it comes to the circle. Okay, so we know that there was a chain 3 involved, so there's chain 3 going up here. So I'm going to grab some black chain 3. I'm going to grab this guy here. The size of the chain doesn't matter in the sense of how big the chain is. It's just about the stitch work. Okay, so we're going to balance him out. Okay, I don't like the angle of that. So what I'm going to do is that we're going to make it homemade. I'll grab one of these guys here, take it out, move it to round number 3, and change it to black. And then we're going to duplicate this guy. So we're going to reflect. Copy it. And so we're going to make this guy here. We're going to group them. So we're going to group. We need to make sure they're exactly in the center or this thing is never going to work. And we're going to group, and then we're going to put the two groups together as one group. And then we're going to select that double crochet, and those two, we're going to lock in that double crochet so it doesn't move. And those will be right in the center. So it says single crochet, chain 3, double crochet, chain 3, single crochet, all in the same chain 5 space. Repeat, ending in a slip stitch in the first single crochet. Okay, so we're going to make this go round. There we go, got it done. Okay, I'm going to move my little polygon out. It's going to eventually turn into a hexagon. I just don't remember where it's going to happen though. So that was round number 3. Round number 4, 4 single crochet in the chain 3 space, chain 2, 4 single crochet in the chain 3 space, single crochet in the chain 2 space. Where in the hell was the chain 2 space? Oh shit. I mean, oh, I made a mistake. Oh. I still need that. There's a chain 2 space in between the singles. So 360 degrees divided by 12. I just need 1. And there's another chain 2. Okay, they did say that. Stupid thing. Who designs this crap? So I'm going to take this guy here, copy it, ungroup, ungroup. I'm only going to use 2. Okay, I don't like the size of that. So I've made that a different size in this one. So we'll take this guy here, take it with me, and rotate him around. Okay, let's try again. That was round number 3. I have to make sure that these guys stay on the right layer or it's a problem. Okay, we'll rotate that around. So I used to do this on Graph too, Genta, but people would complain and write me nasty letters saying your chicken scratches are terrible, blah, 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 blah. So whatever. So I learned to do this instead. But normally if this was me and you weren't watching me, I would do it on paper first. Okay, so that was round number 3. Okay, we'll get that out of there. I may need that for the future, so I can just save it off to the side. And we're going to take this guy and get bigger. Okay, so round number 4, 4 single crochet in the chain 3 space, chain 2, 4 single crochet. Okay, so there's a chain 2 over top of here. So we're going to grab this guy here. It has to be blue, and we're going to move to round number 4. And we'll group these guys together. So there's chain 2 that, there's a chain 2 that goes up over top of these guys here. And it said that there's 4 single crochet. Okay, there's 1 single crochet into this chain 2 space. And it stated that there was 4 single crochets between here and there. So I'm going to have to figure out what that is. So that's the distance. Okay, so I need it to be 4 points, so it needs to be I'm just going to guess 4. I don't think that's the right answer, but I need to get orientation. Okay, that is right. And I need all of these to go with me so I can see the spacing. So all of the single crochets have to be in there. Okay, I'm going to get rid of these guys. So it's got the equal spacing. Now we're going to keep those together. Group. And reflect. I think that's done. Way too free, fiddly. Oh, it looks like the US won the hockey. That's great. It was probably a good match, though. How do you get the program? You can, it's Adobe Illustrator. You can download that. You can subscribe to that service if you want it. Okay, that was round number 4. Looks like a fish, doesn't it? Fish scales. It says, do not join with a slip stitch. I will worry about that at the end. It says chain 6 counts as a double crochet and a chain 3 in the next. I see. Okay. And what's that have up there? And then it says skip 5 single crochets and double crochet. Oh, there's a mistake here. 2 single crochets in the next chain 2 space. There is no double crochet in that last round. Just making a note. And then it says we're going, okay, so we're going to go to round number 5. And we're going to rotate the whole thing again. Oops. Okay, so it says we have to put in a chain 3. So chain 3, so that's 3, then it'll be a double crochet. So there's going to be 6 stitches times 12. 6 times 12, there's going to be 36. No, 6 times 12 is 60, isn't it? No, 72. I don't even know. 6 times 12. 72. So there's going to be 72 stitches going around. So I just want to get the right height. $72. So this is Adobe Illustrator. How do we get all the stitches? Did it take? I made them all myself, but you can buy my template if you want it. It's available on Mikey's Stitch Studio. It's taken me years to make the templates. So all of it's hand drawn by myself. I just save and copy them. Okay, so there's going to be 72 of these guys in the circle. So I need to measure these out. There are programs that can do this kind of stuff, but not like this, not this detail. Just very basic ones. So there's going to be 72, so 360 degrees divided by 72 stitches. That's not what I wanted. Try again. (360 degrees divided by 72). Okay, so there's the equal spacing that will get me from one section to another. And I'm going to need some stuff. So object, send it to round 5. So this will be my spacing. And let's get some more black. I need 3. So all I'm doing is just trying to get the spacing to match. Okay, so we knew that it's going to be so I had several friends go to the pub this morning, pubs and I think Boston Pizza this morning to watch that game this morning, and drinking beer at like 9 in the morning our time. I'm not a sports guy. I never got the bug to enjoy sports. I'm just going to make him slightly bigger. And I don't trust that it's not been changed, so I'm going to take this one over here just in case I adjusted it. And then I'm going to take this guy here. I'm going to make sure that this bottom one here lines up properly to this one here. There's a glare on my screen this morning. There's 360 degrees, divide by 12 of those just to see where it's going to land. Take that with me. Okay, got it. He's going to go bye-bye, and that's it. That was round number 5. Two single, round number 5. What? That is not right at all. Oh my God, what I'm wasting my time. Okay, so it says two single crochets in the chain 2 space, chain 3, skip 5, two single crochets in, oh my god, what the hell am I doing? I have to write this out. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have the visualization to see something like this. We'll get that printed out and I can do it. So Ola Joe is here in the house today. Oh dear. Oh my god, I made a mistake right at the beginning of this. Oh. Okay, but this is a cool design. I'm gonna save this. I bet this doesn't even work. Oh my god, just punch me in the face already. Okay, this is why you do layers. Oh my god, what a waste. As they say, as my mother would say, this is a sin. Oh my god, totally was. No wonder all the chains look like they're shrinking. Let's just say one. It's a sin. I was trying to understand why these chains were so collapsed, but I never questioned it enough to actually do something about it because I'm an idiot. And this is the thing. Chain 5, single crochet in the same single crochet, same as join, chain 5, single crochet in the next single crochet in the next single, chain 5. Just, oh, but you know what? I still need that chain 5. It's chain 3. And I'm going to create a new layer. Okay, so I'm still going to need that. Round 2B. You can tell I have not crocheted this thing in years. Okay, so we know that there's a single in each one of the singles, so we know that that can be rotated 12 times. 360 degrees divided by 12 stitches. And then every other one has this. Instead. So there's only going to be 6 of these guys instead, not 12. See, now that I've gotten through the process already in my head, it's faster if you make a mistake to get back to where you need to go. Because the thought process is already in my head. So it looks like that instead. So we've gone from that to that. And now we're going to go to round, that was round 2, round 3. I'm going to grab round 3. And create a new layer. Let's move this here. And hide. Okay, we're going to rotate this guy out. Now he goes up here. Single crochet, chain 3, double crochet, chain 3, all in the chain 5 space, then chain 2. So let's go back to the other layer. Oh, that chain 2, remember I pulled it off, it was right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate this guy around. So he has 6 points. (360 degrees) divided by 6 points. And then the chain 2 is here. So what I'm thinking of doing, I'm going to stretch this guy over. I'm going to get the actual right size of that. group. And we're going to reflect this guy over. The pattern is available, I believe, as a tutorial, and also it's also written. I have found a couple mistakes though. Since 2017, of course, always the way. And I know you're going to ask me, well, when are you going to get the revision up? I don't know. Let me get this done first. Okay, we're going to take this and we're going to group it together. Group. And then we're going to put it all together, lock down the double crochet so it stays stable and center. Let's see how that looks now. (360° divided by 6). Okay, I can live with that. And then there's going to be a chain 2 in between these guys right here, bridging it. We're going to get rid of that ugly guy here. We're just going to get a chain 2. This here needs to go to round 3B. We're going to group that. Okay, and then that's going to go around. Divided by 6. Okay, it's better. Okay, so round 4. Okay, round 4, we're going to do a new layer. Round 4B. And this is where I was struggling. Actually, round 5 is where I was struggling. Oh, I see. Okay, we're going to do 4 single crochet into the chain 3 space, chain 2, 4 single crochet into the chain 3 space, and then single crochet into the chain 2. Okay, so let's rotate these guys around. So there's going to be a single crochet into the chain 2 space, round 4B, and it's going to be blue. Okay, you're going to rotate this again. There's going to be a chain 2 that jumps over top of that. Okay, now we have to get some single crochets. Single crochet. We're going to do what we did before. We got to space those out. And then we have that one. So we're going to take this guy here and blend those together. Okay, well, it's the right spacing, but it's and I want to make it look more lined up properly. So single crochet in the chain 2 space, 4 single crochets going up, chain 2. I'm going to take this guy here, group, okay. We're going to take all 3, lock down the center, group, lock down the center. Oops. Group, That's it. So that was round 4B. So we're creating a snowflake hexagon for a blanket. 360 degrees divided by 6 points of the star. Okay, we're going to take this guy and rotate it again. And this is kind of where we ended up. Right there. So I think it was 72, right? It was 3. Okay, so we got 2 single crochets in the top. Chain 3. Wow, this is clearly a mistake. Okay, so I have a total count. Ten times 6 is 60. The bottom of the graph is different than the top. Thank you. Obviously, I didn't move something at the same time. When did that happen? Okay, so there's 60 points, so there's going to be 60 of those. So we're going to just rotate that around 60 times. (360 degrees) divided by 60 stitches, copy. Something is wrong. Maybe not. It might just be my angle. The angle in which I'm looking at it, so we're going to come down. Yeah, something is wrong. That should not line up over that. So 60. Let's recalculate again. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 60. Oh, it's not. 72. 72, my friends. Daniel's working on cruise stuff. Just give me a moment. Okay, I'm back to my program. Would working it up, then doing the diagram help? It's already been worked up. It's just yours truly doesn't know how to count. this pattern actually hasn't been crocheted by me since 2017. So I'm getting reacquainted with it as I'm doing this here. Divided by 72 points. But because I'm familiar with diagram work, well, that lined up for that too. Okay, something is wrong. Okay, space, 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 1, 2 goes here, space, space, space. Oh, shoot, it's not. Oh my God, you think I know how to read patterns by now? There's chain 3 spaces in between all of it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 times 6 is what? 84? I don't know. 78. So there's 78 stitches. This thing is a snowflake. They're harder to design like this. So it's 78. Let's track it. Okay, so it didn't line up over top of that one. That's good. And it realigns back up here. Okay, this guy will go over here. Back in the olden days when this pattern was written, we used smaller fonts. And I think that's one of my downfalls of this thing. Okay, and so we know that there's chain 3 after this. So 1, 2, 3. And then we know that there's 2 single crochets somewhere. Here. So if the stitch is pointing not directly in the center of a circle like that, it means that it is not going into the chain itself, it's going into a space. One, 2, 3. Oh my God. That's not the right answer either. This should be like perfectly over top of that. One, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. No, not touching that one. Got an email. They love to feature the Crochet Crowd for a 45-minute interview live on Instagram. I am not doing that. Nope. Nope, not doing that. Last time I answered one of those, it turns out it was a spam that took over my company. I am not responding to that. So I got an email in from Call Her Daddy, the podcaster, and it's not Call Her Daddy, but I thought it was. So I responded, and then I got another email from Justin Art from Bateman. What's his last name? First name, Bateman. He's popular now. Jason Bateman's podcast. And so I responded to him, and they said they need to check my settings because I'm going to go live with them on my computer. And I checked my settings, and when I did so, because they were on with me while I did it, they changed the ownership from the Crochet Crowd to themselves, and my monetization and everything that I built. Click of a button, I gave them ownership of all my properties. And the lucky thing for me is that I realized it at the end of the call, and I had to go in there and have a freak out and change everything that I had built to different passwords and stuff. And apparently it's a common thing to happen, but because I don't talk to anybody, I stay within my bubble. I did not know that was a thing. And I basically handed my company to this spammer or scammer. And I tell you, I have never been so afraid. And it was all a click of a button, and I just got suckered into a join our podcast. Actually, I'm surprised that even came to me because I have podcast as a banned word. What did they use? Live stream. Okay, I'm gonna have to ban that word, live stream. I don't even want to see the messages. I haven't even heard of this guy. Garbage. Actually, I got another request from another company asking the same thing, so that's definitely spam. They're back to back of each other. Okay, moving on. Easy peasy, a lemon squeezy. Okay, this was technically round 5. Let's group that together. And let's rotate this sucker. You need to sit down and a bamboo. Oh, Panda, I actually just saw a photograph of you. I didn't know what you look like. Yours truly sent it to me, your better half. Okay, I'm missing a stitch. You're not missing much. That's not what he said. Okay. He's biased. He has to say that. Yeah, well, I think my man might be too. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, there we go. Got it. But I am sure there's a special place in hell for people that create spamming materials. Just let you know. So I had been up since 6 o'clock my time zone this morning. I had a issue overnight that kept me up. And it was a mess, let me tell you. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to start the Jacob's ladder concept. Okay, I'm going to have to draw that. I can't see it in my head. This is going to be a blizzard blanket. It's actually a snowflake. They're the hardest things for me to design on the computer. Have they rescheduled my surgery? Yes, they have. Am I happy about it? No. No, but I have a call in, but I'm not going to do any official date naming until I get my call back, because I got a date, but I don't like my date. Okay, so it's a snowflake blanket. Okay. Jacob's ladder technique begins with the main color, chain 1. Okay, so chain 1, 4 single crochet in the next chain 3 space. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 double crochet into the single crochet in the previous round with single crochet. Oh my God. What the hell is going on? Two double crochet into the single crochet of the previous round. I made this into a square. I'm going to see if I actually can see it in the square format. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just looking at an old resource that I did. Is that what it's saying? If so, it would make sense then. So Sammy has been with us for years, and her mom had referred me. Thank you so much for that. Why do I have to design complicated stuff, I tell you? Four single crochet in the next chain 3 space, 2 double crochet in this, 2 double crochet in the single crochet of the previous round. What the hell does that mean? Chain 10. Just write it out and see what happens. 4 double crochet in the chain, in the same chain 3 space. Okay, mute my sound. I know I did a video on this thing. Let me just see what I did. It probably makes sense. I just don't understand it. Okay, that's a mistake. No wonder. No wonder. No, it does look good with that space. Okay, so I made a mistake on the last round. There's actually see how I have the V stitches? There's not a V stitch in this thing. So I actually technically have how many stitches then? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 times 6 is 63. Is that right? No, 9 times 6. Oh my God, this is why I suck at math. 9 times 6. 54. So there's only 54 stitches. I thought there was a V stitch in here, but there wasn't. (360 degrees) divided by 54 stitches. Yeah, I think that's right. Okay, he's gone. Okay, these guys are too small now. Okay, okay, it's the only thing straight today. He's straight up. I'm definitely going to have to rewrite this pattern. I'm probably going to have to make a new sample too. Oh, I hate myself so much. Oh. Nobody likes making more samples. And he goes to there. That's the thing, is that at the time of designing this, I never did stitch counts at the end of the instructions. That was before I was really a decent designer. Maths is hard. Oh my God, yeah. Totally is. I've done my share of crying in math class. I think I'm okay with math as long as it's a real sample. But if it's something hypothetical, that's when I suck. Even worse. So my problem is, and I got lots of problems, but my problem is that I jumped schools a lot, not because of military, but I kept switching schools because my dad would go where the work would go, which makes sense. But because of that, different schools would be at different parts of education. So the first school I ever started, we learned French in kindergarten, grade 1 and 2. Second school, they did not start French until grade 5. And then the next school I went to, they started French in grade 6. So then I skipped all of that. And then the next school I went to, they started French back in grade 4. And so by the time I kept switching schools, I don't know. It was frustrating, to say the least. And then when I go to the school in grade 7 and they've started learning back in grade 4, I'm nowhere close to actually knowing French because I kept switching schools. Because my parents went where the jobs went. So that's why I don't have any issues with moving around or changing my lifestyle or like where I live. You go where the work goes. You normally, so you cry to Michael when Panda cries to his man when he's got a math question. My man just says, figure it out on your own. Get your calculator out. And I'm not kidding either. Mean. Okay, so that was round 5 finally. Now round 6 is where I was screwing it up. Okay, so if there's 4, so 4, 5, 6. think it's 66 is my number I need. Okay, round number 6. So round number 6 is when it starts turning into the Jacob's ladder. Okay. And it turns into the Jacob's ladder right here. I'm going to rotate the whole thing. And I did the Jacob's ladder before in another diagram. I'm just going to pull the sample out. It was in my book. I don't remember the name of the pattern. It was a baby blanket though. What is this? Baby blanket with love. Let's see if I can find that. There it is. Copy. So that's Jacob's ladder right there. Oh, we should save my work too. So the Jacob's ladder is there. It's going to be here somewhere. So let's count stitches then. If it's going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 times 6. Is that 72? I think so. So let's pull this one out here. So many layers, Mikey. Do you have them all labeled? I do. Yeah, I do. Okay, so let's make this guy right here. Actually, no, let's make him. I don't know what I'm doing. Let me just. Okay, so we're going to say this guy is the right height. And I think he's 72 of these guys. What would Mikey do? What would Mikey do? Yes, I will never forget that. I'm going to just lean him over. So Lisa, for those that are joining us, Lisa here suggested I was designing with me in mind instead of what you wanted, and what would I design if it was me. And I've been kind of trying to follow that mantra a little bit. Okay, there's 6 of these guys. Actually, these guys are upside down. Okay, I need some of these. So the Jacob's ladder is a chain that will loop into itself, if you ever saw that happen. And what I need to do is to get back to a single crochet height. So I need to get back to here. So if there's got to be 2 of these. There's got to be 4 of these in here and 2 of these. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It takes me 78. Oh my God. My computer automatically saves my work. Yeah, I don't follow sports, so as far as Canada losing, it's okay. It doesn't rock my world at all. Okay, what if I did that instead? (360° by 78 stitches). I just don't know if this is the right answer. That's my problem. Okay. This pattern is getting so complicated in the design, I'm getting a little frustrated with it. Okay, so I need to start sinking this stuff down to here. Okay, they share the same stitch. One, two, three, four. Anybody seen that new Tyra Banks documentary? I thought that was fascinating. I wasn't surprised by it, but actually I was going to write a little, the Crochet Crowd is actually, the original was actually based on her when I started back in 2008. And so most of you know my backstory. I sponsored a grade 5 special needs class in New York, where I would communicate with the class and show them the world of trucking from my perspective. And anyway, because I was a trucker and I was barely home, I saw Tyra's TV show, and I thought, well, we're just as important to Tyra, so each one of the kids and we labeled our last name as Mail, because people were so excited to get Tyra Mail while they were in their little houses. And I thought, well, we're just as important as Tyra, so all of us had, that's how the original channel for the Crochet Crowd developed. It was actually called Mikey's Mail. That was my YouTube channel. And was I surprised by the documentary? I don't think so. I'm more gutted for the contestants, to be honest with you, that, you know, they put a lot of their energy towards trying to get the next big thing, but that was the reality TV back in the ages. And it was quite something to look back at it from this perspective today. So pre-Daniel, yep, absolutely before Daniel. So my last partner did not like to be having our life online. He was a very private guy, and so he did not like that I was on YouTube at all, doing what I was doing. And unfortunately for myself, which I will agree with the guy, is that I was airing too much of our personal lives and not focused, because I didn't know I was going to even do this job. So I was using YouTube as like a video log of my life, plus then adding the trucker stuff and then the kids and stuff. And so anyway, fast forward to today, that's kind of where we are. So my whole feed is full of people that are really angry with her. And well, let me guess, I don't have enough stitches. Oh my God, I'm missing a stitch. 78 plus 12, or plus 6. 78 plus 6. It's 84. I am totally charging for this design, by the way, because I am not having fun at this point. And it's Canadian dollars, so it goes a lot farther in the US, charging Canadian. Okay. See, that should have lined up. Oh, no, it should not have. So my last partner did not like our lives to be on public display. So when you enter the social media world, and I joined all of this stuff before social media was even a thing. So he didn't like the idea that our personal life was part of something like this. So when I met Daniel, Daniel was in the performance because he's a professional musician. So what I was doing was just a different version of performing. And so he said, you need to lean into this. There's something here with what you're doing. And so instead of me kind of being afraid of doing what I was doing online, I leaned into it. And it afforded me in time to be able to quit my job a few years later and actually do this full time. Yeah, that's the right amount of stitches this time. So I think a lot of people think that these diagrams are generated by computer, and I think one day they will be. But for now, they are completely manual. There are programs that can do stuff like this, but it's not as detailed as what I'm doing. You want to go outside? Come on. Here, come on outside. Go pee-pee. No, you're going outside. You're going to go pee-pee. You got to throw the cat outside. Because she will circle me for like ever if I don't toss her outside. I thought you had people write your patterns for you. Oh, hell no. No, I write them. I have people testing. The Journey members on YouTube test. I thought it was my cat. When did you lose pudding? I'm not sure what that means. That was Puss Puss says there. It is not that cold today. It's just hovering around the freezing mark today. It's warming up for a few days and then it'll go back down. But it depends where you live in Canada, of course. But we have a big storm coming in later tonight or tomorrow. Here in Nova Scotia, we have a kind of like a local celebrity. I think he either has Down syndrome or he is autistic, or he might be both. Anyway, his name is Frankie McDonald, and he is obsessed with the weather. So when there's weather coming in, he goes on his little channel and he reports the news, and he does it in such an interesting way. I just find it remarkable is that these people that don't know who he is, they go for the jugular and point out his disability versus pointing out his purpose. And I was sharing with Daniel about it this morning, that, you know, here's a guy that has found something that he loves to do. And anyway, so he does the sounds of like the sirens, and he yells at the camera because he's so enthusiastic about it. So I don't know if anybody, any of you have seen him, but he's really quite entertaining. And anyway, there was I'll just share a story with you. So anyway, there was Trump did a cabinet meeting when he got up and he looked out the back window and said, this is where his ballroom is going to be. And he looked out the window. Well, anyway, somebody green screened Trump looking out the window, and they put Frankie in the window, and Frankie was screaming for the siren of the hurricane. Oh, I laughed, but I'm like, oh God, you're putting a great kid into something like that. So when I say kid, he's probably in his 30s, maybe 40s. But anyway, I was like, oh. So then people go after the jugular because they don't know who he is, and they go after his disability instead of his why he's doing what he's doing, which I find kind of sad. But it's too easy to go after people with disabilities. Okay, I'm going to repoint this guy here. He probably doesn't care, but as a Nova Scotian, I care. He has feelings too, I'm sure. I was more concerned that the guy is being used as a tool like that instead of, you know, I was just sad about it. So the further east you go here in Nova Scotia, closer, like further east, people's dialect changes, and it doesn't sound Newfie, but it gets close to it. And so he has that dialect as well. So because I'm not from Nova Scotia, I don't have that dialect. It's I forget that it's a combination of Celtic or Scottish or Irish. It's kind of mixed into it in the language. I'm not sure exactly what it is. So his enunciation isn't what you would expect it to be. Okay. Oh God, now that he did that, this actually should be up. That's pretty close. This is the first time it actually turns into a hexagon instead of a circle. Somebody suggested earlier I should have probably crocheted this before I did this, and I'm thinking they're right now. I think I should have just did a sample that I could hold and look at, because I'm finding myself having to repeat steps. So do you understand why there is a line midway through like this? Because you wrap the hook and you go through and you pull through, and then you have to stop, then pull through two, and then pull through two. It represents stopping and actually pulling it through the two. And so you wrap and pull through, and then pull through two, and then pull through two. So then in half double crochet, when that's missing, you wrap and then go through, and then you pull through all three at the same time. So this here is that you're wrapping the hook, and this here is is stopping when you're coming back. So then, because this is single crochet and there's no top to it, you're not wrapping, you're just going right into the stitch, and then you stop and pull through two to get back to the top. Go grab some yarn and stitch with us. I miss the stitching and bitching lives. Oh, I'm already bitching. Actually, I was designing tulips yesterday, but I made a mistake in the design, so I got to frog out. I made the leaves too short, and then Karen called me out on it, and Daniel agreed with her, and I'm like, oh God. So anyway, I even used glue, so I gotta unwrap the stems and make a new leaf for it. And that's what Mikey would go and do. Because I wouldn't mind flowers in my office. I just don't want anything that I can kill. Because I think I might be good at that. And Daniel is an avid planter. He's already planted all of his stuff for the gardens for this year. All the vegetables have been planted already in the studio. And then he was transplanting yesterday to bigger pots already. And then it cannot go out outside until June. Our weather doesn't really turn until June. So he was busy doing that. So I'm currently at 84. Okay, so let's get rid of some ugly lines here. And we're no longer going in a circle. Well, we are going in a circle, but we're now going in a hexagon. I'm just going to make him a little bit wider. Okay, that was that round, finally. I don't know why it's doing that. So thank you for just kind of hanging out. Did you got some wine in your hand, Lisa? Lisa was one of our guests when we were doing the podcast. I'm just not feeling well enough to run the podcast right now because I don't know what my Thursday is going to look like health-wise. So I kind of have everything shelved at this time. Okay, so now what I need to do going forward now is that we need to turn this sucker around. To there. And now this is officially the hexagon. So I am designing a snowflake throw. So I am going to center line up. And then I am going to this here is the hexagon shaping. So Jet is joining us today. What else we go? I have cold coffee and I'm cleaning the playroom doing toy rotation. God, I'm glad I never had kids. I mean, oh, that's great. Good for you. Okay. And we're going to create a new layer. We're going to get rid of this guy and move them to hidden guides. I did a sensory thing, so now these dry rice and beans everywhere. Oh, what are you thinking? Oh, you weren't. Ah. I never had kids, so I don't have that sense of doing stuff with kids. Okay, so we're going to unlock the guides. My former wife was a daycare teacher, and so we never had kids. We biologically was not possible. So and I don't think she ever had kids in her lifetime. I did kind of like a light search, and I don't think she ever had them. Like she would have had to adopt, or I would have had to adopt. Kitty cat. How do you have a Stanley Cup? You don't even play hockey. Okay. Okay, that was round number 6 that I was on. Okay, round number 7. It should get much faster from this point because there's no funny business. Okay, round 7. It's double crochets. Stanley Cup is a popular drinking cup. Stanley Cup. I assume that Stanley Cup. I thought that was the hockey trophy for the playoffs, Stanley Cup. Oh, one of those. I think that's called a Yarnley. Maybe it was supposed to be a Stanley Cup. Fur children are the best children. Yep, they are. Well, no wonder they called it Yarnley then. I didn't know why it was called a Yarnley. Okay, so we're going to start working on stuff. So there is the side. And the corners are always going to be this thing here. Group. What round am I on? I'm on round number 7. Okay, so I am going to take off. Daniel's back from grocery shopping. And have a cup of tea with Daniel. So anyway, that's it for now. I need to take a break from this thing because it's driving me nuts, and we'll go from there. And that's about it. Okay, that's it for now. We hope you have a great day, and I'll see you again, hopefully another time. And I'll see ya. Bye.